What is up, everyone? Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I was invited to join the Minesomnia server, and it has been an absolutely amazing start. People have given us gifts. We got an amazing tour, and it has given me the chance to get back into survival mode, which has just been so fun. I don't know how many of you know this about me, but survival mode is actually the main way I usually play Minecraft. Creative was actually a really new thing for me that I really do enjoy, and I'm still gonna keep doing just as regularly. So keep on the lookout for that. But this is a really great way for me to get back into some survival Minecraft and start playing with some other people. So it's been a really great group to get to know. We got a base started that I'm really excited for you guys to see. So let's start getting into some of this. So I went to meet up with Atomic Dave, who was very nice and gave me a tour of the shops area and made me a gift shulker box, which was super generous and filled with all kinds of things that I very much needed and would have been very, very difficult to get myself. So I was super appreciative of that. It saved so much work and so many diamonds. So thank you so much, Atomic Dave. And then we went and met up with Scorpius, who also helped along with the tour and also gave me a goodie shulker box filled with more things to go along with Dave's gift. Those mending books helped so very much. So thank you too, Scorpius. Also, my base would not have been possible in this episode if not for Scorpios' shulker box. So thank you so very much. After their wonderful tour, I flew around a bit to find my spot. I had already scoped out a couple areas on the Dynamap that they have for the server, which is super helpful. But, you can't really pick out a spot till you see it in person. And this spot turned out to be the absolute best. So I got some plans figured out and kind of sat with the area for a bit and figured out what I wanted to do. I sat with those plans for a bit and spent some time getting to know one of the other new members on the server, Aerington, and went and saw their base, and it put me to shame with my non-base. Their tent and desert area is just fantastic. They do story-based episodes every week, and you should definitely go check them out. So when I logged back on, I had received a gift box from Hiimz. Unfortunately, I wasn't recording, but it was filled with all kinds of diamonds and other goodies. So thank you so much, Hiimz. Before we can get started terraforming the beach behind me or even get started on the base, we are going to need some sand because out of all of the things that I do have right now, I don't have any sand. So what that means is we are ready for our very first grind. And I am surprisingly prepared for it because I did get a very, very nice shovel. So I hope you're ready because I'm ready. So let's do it. Okay, so I've gotten some grinding done. We've got the sand that we need and some of the sandstone to make our stuff. But I think I may have gotten a little ahead of myself because I've skipped some key essentials. Let me just show you. So my elytra is here, and I do have mending, and in my infinite wisdom, I put my base so far. And also, my shovel is just about broken, so we gotta get mending on that. But that would use my very last mending book. We also need an ender chest, we need obsidian, so I think we need to make a trip to the shopping district to make the elytra, maybe get like some breaking on it, something like that. But this is not going to get us. Not going to get us there. Which means we're going to have to walk. And we're going to have to take our diamonds. Because I don't have an ender chest. People were so kind and gifted us so many diamonds. And I brought them here, and it was dumb. It was dumb, wasn't it? Dumb, because now I have to carry them with me. I have no armor. I skipped steps, guys. I got ahead of myself. I wanted a house. I skipped basic steps. We're gonna go to the shopping district. I see what I can get. It's gonna take me forever. It's gonna be fine. 3 ender chests. Oh yes. Oh, it's so cute. They don't have the color I need. I was totally prepared to give him my money, but I don't see color. And I've got not colored terracotta at my base, my non-base. Is this plain? I'll get a stack of this just in case I don't have enough. I'll have to dye it myself, which is fine. Totally fine. This is absolutely fantastic. Books, I love you. Okay, well, this was very productive. I got so much of what I needed, and I think we are ready to head back. So let's get to it. Guys, we're back. I've never been so happy to see that shoreline. I've only been on here a couple days, and I'm in love with it. That was such a long walk. I need to get my elytra situation figured out immediately. Like, we're gonna build the base now. That's what's about to happen next. But then immediately after that, we're getting the elytra situation figured out, because that's unacceptable. And we're gonna do another portal, because that will help considerably. But first, it's time to build a base. So I just recorded that whole thing about how we were gonna build the base now, and it was gonna be good, and I was so excited. But I don't know if you can hear my husband laughing at me in the background. I'm sure all of you watched me put the ender chests inside the ender chest. So all those resources that I just bought, I have to walk all the way back the shops area, because I don't have the resources that I just got to build the base. I could try to fix my elytra because it has mending on it, which might be the plan that we go with. We're gonna see. Mistakes have been made. Crisis averted. Laura's was nice enough to bring me an ender chest out here, which this is very, very far out. So it was very, very nice of him. So we can start building. So meltdown ended. We will get to work. Because everyone keeps coming to look at my base, and I have to tell them that there is no base. And I look like a failure, so we have to fix this. For this area, I wanted to go with a more Southeast Asian, Indonesian style build, and that's because it's mostly kind of out of my comfort zone. I've never really built in that style before, and I also think it'll fit the vibe for this area really well with the mountains and the kind of islands in the area. I also didn't particularly want to do the whole beach cottage thing that fits the island that I grew up on because I don't think it fits the area very well because of the mountains and it doesn't really fit my build style in particular. So this is more of what I went with. For the specific housing type I decided to go with, I went with the rumah gadang. It is used traditionally by the Minangkabau people from the West Sumatran highlands in Indonesia. Thought that this housing type would go particularly well with the mountain area, especially when we try to terraform them. Given that color palette seemed to vary quite a bit from the houses, I assumed that it was kind of up to whoever built it for the color palette and that the main architectural giveaways for this were more on the structure and less the color palette, as long as there were the intricate details that I added in with the terracotta. So I did pull in some styles that are more seen on the island that I grew up in, with the light contrasting with some bright colors with the blue there. And so I think the sandstone did that in a really nice way. So another thing I did want to incorporate into the build that's more along with my typical build style is a kind of fantasy whimsical element to this, which I didn't feel was contradictory to style outside of Minecraft. And how I tried to accomplish that was giving the spikes on the roof a kind of more rounded edges and a couple more curves there along the tips. Here I hadn't quite accomplished it yet. They kind of looked more like horns than spikes. So I go in to try to fix those. It did take quite a bit of work. This is where the majority of the time went into the build, is just trying to get these just right. So you can see here I'm trying to elongate them so they are going to hang out over the edge quite a bit more. And once I've gotten one done, it's just a matter of copying it over on the other side. So this is the first time I've actually had to pay a ton of attention to symmetry in the builds. And so it was a huge learning curve for me. And here we did have Scorpios fly in. Everyone was really excited to see me actually make progress on this build. I had been talking about it for quite some time, but hadn't actually gotten anything done, and everyone had just seen my empty field every time they had come by. So Ailin also showed up, and everyone just stared at my lopsided horns. And they had this plan that they were going to fix me another hub, which was wonderful, but I had to go into the Nether to break the original portal so I could have one on the roof. And so it went about as you would expect, since I'm using iron, and Hiimz decided that he would graciously sacrifice his diamonds and fix my portal. And I'm very grateful that they did, because like immediately after they left, my bed got blown up and I died. So I immediately used this Nether hub and saved all of my stuff. So thank you guys. So with that, let's get back to the build. guys, I am so incredibly happy with how this base turned out. Admittedly, I got a little over ambitious and built something way big as a starter base. I also want to take a second and apologize for the blinding sun and some of those time lapses. I really tried to fix it within replay mod and within the shaders and within everything. I'm really used to working in creative where you can turn off time, so I don't really have to worry about the sunset. So it's a little bit of a learning curve of recording in survival. And finally, I've decided to switch shaders. That's why everything looks a little bit differently now. I didn't want to do it mid time lapse because I didn't quite find a shader until near the end of recording. But I did want to pop on and show you guys the difference here near the end, just to show you guys I was aware of the issue and working on it, so that shouldn't be an issue anymore. I had wanted to work with this shader for a while because I really like the way it looks, but before I upgraded my computer, it couldn't really handle it. But now it does, and I really like that it lets you adjust the sunlight intensity. So now it really shouldn't be too blinding. I'm sorry, it shouldn't be a problem anymore. But back to this. This took so much time, but I am so happy I took the time for it. But due to the amount of time it took, this will probably stay our base for quite some time because I do have other plans than just building bases this season. You know, we'll probably upgrade it, or maybe we'll build a mega one eventually, but expect to see this one for a while. But it took me about 3 days, and most of that was the roof. It got easier as it went along, but I think it was because this was a new style for me. But things coming up, I want to do something with this mountain, also these turtles, and I have a shop idea. But in the meantime, let me know. These are our first turtles, so let me know what you want to name them, because I would really like to commemorate that they are our first turtles. Also, for those of you that didn't notice, during our village sand time lapse, we got ourselves a base kitty, so let me know what you want to name them. I think that they're adorable, and they kept me going during this arduous base build. We also got a very lovely view from the porch here, which I spent a really long time getting to look right. But it also shows off another thing that I really love about the shader, which is what it does on the horizon when you look at it without being zoomed in on Optifine, which is that glimmer there on the distance. It is just fantastic. I love it. With that said, I think that is all we have time for. So I will see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed this new journey that we're going on. I hope to see you guys next time, where we will keep up this adventure. And if you liked the video, please let me know. If you want to see more stuff like this, consider subscribing. I will see you guys next time. Bye. What is shimmer? I don't know what this is. I am void. Shimmer, 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 shimmer. Is this a glitch?